Bachelor of Arts in Defense and Security program. This program is ideal for Defense Force personnel, security service professionals, and the general public. To enroll in this program, you need 5 credits in English, mathematics, and any other 3 subjects. To enroll, apply directly online via nepasis.nepa.ac.zm or download an application form from our website www.nepa.ac.zm. Contact the administration office at 0767 670 985. NEPA, where excellence meets probity.
The National Health Insurance Management Authority, NEMA, hereby informs the public that with effect from the 1st of January 2024, the buyback option will no longer be available. This means that newly registered NEMA members will not be able to simply pay for the previous 4 months as means of gaining immediate access to NEMA-insured health services. Instead, they will be required to undergo a 4-month waiting period from date of registration, during which they're expected to make 4 consecutive monthly contributions for their NEMA accounts to be activated for use. Register and start contributing today. Don't wait until you fall sick. National Health Insurance, leaving no one behind.
NEMA Health Insurance.
Wow, that over there is a very nice Ford. Have you seen it?
Of course. I have been looking at it since we got here. My worry is how people manage such vehicles and where they buy genuine parts from.
I'm sure there's nowhere else apart from Shuma Auto Parts. They are the only supplier of genuine Ford and Mazda parts, which comes straight from the manufacturer. They have everything in stock for both latest and ordinary Mazda and Ford. They also stock service parts such as diesel filters, air con filters, diesel pumps, steering pumps, turbochargers, engine overhaul gaskets, suspension parts, and body parts. If they don't have parts you're looking for, they can order within 5 to 10 working days. To top it up, Shuma Auto Parts also supply Maxxis tires and CST tires.
Really? But where are they found?
They are found on Chandram Sonda Road, Cruiser Auto Workshop in Lusaka. Call on 0979 192057 and 0960747235. Email shumaautoparts@gmail.com. Shuma Auto Parts for all your genuine vehicle parts.
The Happy World of 5FM Radio, your adult contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FM main news at 18:30 with Judith Mwape. The headlines. Kanyama Police Station apprehends a suspect on the wanted list identified as Lakson Sheleni. ZACO urges Zambian entrepreneurs, contractors, suppliers, and the private sector to take charge and drive the economic agenda of the country. Mexico sees surge of African migrants hoping to reach U.S. And now the news in detail. Kanyama Police Station, with the help of the Reserve Police officers and members of the Community Crime Prevention Unit, apprehended a suspect, Lakson Sheleni, also commonly known as Viper, aged 20, of Makene Villa in Kanyama compound, yesterday. The suspect has been on the wanted list for various cases of aggravated robbery involving junkies in the area. Confirming the development, Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga says the suspect is alleged to be a gang leader for the group of junkies who have been terrorizing the community. Mr. Hamonga says the suspect has been detained in custody pending further investigations in cases of aggravated robbery. He has since appealed to members of the public that could have fallen prey in these areas during this period to go to Kanyama Police Station so that their cases can be expedited for court hearing.
The Community Crime Prevention Unit apprehended a suspect, Lakson Sheleni, also commonly known as Viper, age 20, of McKen Villa in Kanyama compound of Lusaka. The suspect has been on the wanted list for various cases of aggravated robbery involving junkies in the area. The suspect is alleged to be a gang leader for the group of junkies who have been terrorizing the community. He has been detained in custody pending further investigations in cases of aggravated robbery. Brief facts of the matter are that the suspect is alleged to have, whilst acting with others unknown, been unlawfully assembling themselves in numbers of more than 50 persons.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, has applauded the vigilance of the Zambian police for arresting 3 health workers for allegedly stealing medicines and medical supplies valued at 112,000 kwacha from a public health facility in Chibombo. Last week, the Central Province Police Command arrested the 3 suspects who are all workers at Mwachisompola Level 1 Hospital in Chibombo District. ZAMSA Senior Manager for Corporate Communications, Bradley Chingobe, says the agency, mandated with the procurement, storage and distribution of medicines and medical supplies on behalf of government through the Ministry of Health, finds the reported theft disturbing as it goes against government's agenda of offering citizens easy access to quality healthcare and services to the general populace. Mr. Chingobe says the actions by the named health workers deprive the people of Mwachisompola village and surrounding areas the much-needed constitutional right of free and easy access to quality medicines.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, ZAMSA, would like to applaud the vigilance of the Zambia police for arresting 3 health workers for allegedly stealing medicines and medical supplies valued at 112,000 kwacha from a public health facility in Chibombo. Last week, the Central Province Police Command arrested the 3 suspects who are all workers at Mwachisompola Level 1 Hospital in Chibombo District. As an agency mandated with the procurement, storage, and distribution of medicines and medical supplies on behalf of the government,
Community Action Against Corruption has protested against the 3 years simple imprisonment of former Deputy Inspector General of Police Charity Katanga of a corruption case involving the purchase of 10 Higer buses now proven to be proceeds of crime. Organization Chief Executive Officer Brighton Tembo says the sentencing has no positive bearing on the fight against corruption and it does not serve as a deterrent to the would-be corrupt high-profile people in future. Mr. Tembo has wondered why the courts have perpetually continued to hand soft sentences to convicted high-profile corrupt people despite government's continuous promises of getting tough on corrupt people. He has challenged the Anti-Corruption Commission and the Director of the Public Prosecution to prove to Zambians that they are serious about corruption fight by appealing against the 3 years simple imprisonment handed to Ms. Katanga. He says the sentencing does not match the gravity of the case and it is another confirmation that the justice system is too friendly to corruption involving high-profile people in society and very harsh to the common criminals. Further, Mr. Tembo says the sentencing is shocking and a slap in the face of corruption fight, and it is an indirect call to high-profile corrupt people not to worry very much because there is no serious punishment awaiting them.
and they are a betrayal of what government has been preaching to the people of Zambia, that they will be tough in their fight against corruption. But if you look at that sentencing involves money worth the 26 million kwacha, but somebody has been given 3 years with a simple imprisonment. But ordinary people, even somebody who had stolen 1,000 kwacha can go in for 5 years. So this kind of selective application of justice, looking at the position of people in society, is not helping us in the fight against corruption.
The Zambian Association of Citizen Contractors has urged Zambian entrepreneurs, contractors, suppliers, and the private sector at large to take charge and drive the economic agenda of the country. Association President Danny Simumba says there is lack of leadership in the private sector because players have left the decision-making power to politicians. Mr. Simumba laments that the country cannot afford to have its economy controlled by politicians because all the decisions that will be made will unfortunately be political, hence the tendency to leave everything in the hands of politicians must come to an end. He says it is unacceptable to have politicians being in the forefront of leading business delegations when there are a lot of entrepreneurs who have the knowledge on what kind of joint ventures are needed for the country.
Because all decisions that will come from there will be political. They will not look at the real issues of production, the real issues of employment creation, the real issues of producing goods and services to cater for all the Zambian needs. So this is the time we need to sit together as private sector leaders and ensure that we look at this critically. You cannot have a situation where the politicians are the ones who are leading business delegations. Those are employees in the public sector. How do they lead business delegations out there?
Opposition Socialist Party leader Fred Membe says the lasting solution to Zambia's economic difficulties does not lie in the International Monetary Fund. Dr. Membe says the answer is in the collection of fair and adequate revenue from the mining sector for support to secondary industries such as manufacturing. He says further increased state support to agriculture and enhanced food security is crucial, but those in power today are quicker to listen to the IMF and remove subsidies in farming inputs, even when the US and other Western countries still subsidize their own agriculture industry.
Zambia's economic difficulties does not lie in the IMF and these programs. It lies in the collection of fair and adequate revenue from the mining sector for support to secondary industries such as manufacturing. It lies in the development of the arts, a hugely important industry that those in power today have reduced to a footnote in a ministry. It lies in increased state support to agriculture and enhanced food security. But those in power today are quicker to listen to the IMF and remove subsidies on farming inputs.
Another story is trending this evening. The Zambia Revenue Authority has unearthed a motor vehicle identity scam in which perpetrators use registration numbers of other motor vehicles to smuggle vehicles into the country. The Vedanta Must Return community campaign movement says injection of $25 million into Konkola copper mines should motivate the UPND government to act fast in the KCM Vedanta transition process. Up next, the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
The Zambia Compulsory Standards Agency has disposed of an assortment of non-compliant products valued at over 900,000 kwacha. These non-compliant products include sockets, adapters, top plugs, shoe polish, rubber condoms, incandescent bulbs, electric cables, gear oil, bottled water, and fruit-flavored drinks, among others. Speaking during the confiscation of the products at Chunga dump site, agency head of communications Brian Hatioka says these non-compliant products were seized in Lusaka during market surveillance inspections for not complying with relevant compulsory standards. Mr. Hatioka has warned of stern action against entities which either is manufacturing or importing and supplying products on the market in contravention of applicable compulsory standards. He has urged consumers to buy products from reputable sources and report any suspicious product to the nearest agency office.
These products were basically seized in Lusaka during market surveillance inspections for not complying with the relevant compulsory standards. The disposal of these products is in line with the provisions of the Compulsory Standards Act number 3 of 2017. The agency is warning of stern actions against entities which are either manufacturing or importing or supplying products on the market in contravention of applicable compulsory standards. This is because such products may pose a risk to public safety, health, and the environment.
That ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And now on foreign news, the number of African migrants who arrived in Mexico last year was 9 times higher than the year before, according to official statistics. Figures released by Mexico's Interior Department at the weekend show that almost 60,000 migrants arrived from Africa in 2023, a huge jump from the previous year when 6,500 made the journey. Dana Grabalade, head of mission at the UN's International Organization of Migration in Mexico, told the BBC's Newsday program that most of these migrants came from Guinea, Angola, Mauritania, Senegal, Nigeria, and Cameroon. Here's a roundup from the BBC.
Lawyers at the International Court of Justice in The Hague are beginning hearings to decide the legality of Israel's occupation of Palestinian territory since the Six-Day War in 1967. Israel has given the first indication of when its forces might launch a ground offensive against Rafah in southern Gaza. A minister in the Israeli War Cabinet, Benny Gantz, said the assault would begin in 3 weeks unless Hamas released all hostages. The mother of the Russian opposition leader, Alexei Navalny, has been refused access to his body for a third consecutive day. Lyudmila Navalnaya was visiting the mortuary in the town near the Arctic prison where he died suddenly. Taliban officials in Afghanistan say at least 25 people have been killed in a landslide caused by snow. More than 10 others were injured when the avalanche struck a village in the eastern province of Nuristan. Details are still coming in.
And finally, in sports news, former Wales manager Chris Coleman is a leading candidate to succeed Stephanie Kenny as Republic of Ireland boss. The Republic of Ireland has been without a manager since Kenny's 3-year tenure ended in November 2023. Coleman, who won 32 caps for Wales as a centre-back, led his country to the Euro 2016 semi-finals during his time in charge between 2012 and 2017. And now the weather report brought to you by Class Econ.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
The evening will be partly cloudy, slightly windy, and warm to mild, with isolated rain and thunder. That ends the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy.
Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
And that weather update brings us to the end of the news this evening. But before we go, a recap of the top stories. Kanyama Police Station apprehends a suspect on the wanted list identified as Lakson Sheleni. ZACO urges Zambian entrepreneurs, contractors, suppliers, and the private sector to take charge and drive the economic agenda of the country. Mexico sees surge of African migrants hoping to reach U.S. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy World of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. I'm Judith Mwabem. Good evening.